All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Wentz now on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. That'll bring up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Four down, check, four down. What's on?
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it's third down.
Go. 120. Shorty. Black. What's your son?
From the gun, it's Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Well, certainly it appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Fighting his way through contact. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try the air now with Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Bernard, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got room. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
He's going to get it running right, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They get it to him running left. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. The quick slant caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. To throw is Wentz. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. To throw, it's Wentz. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. Go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And they'll run it here. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Seems to me that our friend, Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
And when you don't pick up the necessary yardage in that situation, sometimes it starts to put a little doubt in the play caller's mind about what he's going to run on the next play. Because most of them, they thought they were going to pick it up right then and there. Now they've got to adjust what they're doing, adjust what they're thinking, and maybe they go away from what they originally thought.
Wentz going to throw. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Wentz to throw. Completion left side to Miller. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They run for it with a J. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Jay Ajayi stops short of the 1st. And this Texans defense stands tall. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Watson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this one is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wentz now on 1st down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Forward for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Thomas, the intended target. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on 1st down. After the interception, here's Watson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The final shot before the break. Watson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some second.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, here's Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback because that was awfully close.
Third and long, it's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To the air yet again, Watson going deep for Hopkins. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Texans on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Watson looks to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Wentz. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A very solid gain of 27. Throwing on first is Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Looking left side, and it's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Lets it fly deep for Cobb. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. The corner Ronald Darby comes up to get him.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on second is Watson. He finds an opening past the 40. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Watson off play action. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because their only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. A shotgun snap for Watson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
This will be fielded at the 17. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to. So
the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 52 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Reset.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. Now Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Able to get away. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Drag it, drag it. 25, check 25.
On second down, here's Wentz. Miller on the catch over the middle. And out across midfield down to the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Caught left side by Cobb. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Completion left side to Miller. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure that...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are back within a score. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Fielded about a yard deep. And an alley to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20, 10, touchdown, Houston, as his guys are in for 6, and the Texans will extend their lead. A big-time special teams play here in the fourth quarter to extend their lead.
And coaches preach it all the time. If you can score on special teams, your chances of winning the game really jump up in a big way. Now, I'll let our analytics friends quantify it and give us the exact numbers, but that's what coaches talk about all the time, that extra momentum, that extra bounce you get from a special team score.
I don't have any analytics friends. Those are your friends.
I'll claim them.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Wentz, throw left side complete. It's Cobb, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Trey 15, Trey 15.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Caught by Cobb. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Foreman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throw left side taken in by Miller. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The Eagles on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Great 15.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Here's Foreman. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he'll at least get them inside the red zone here, down to about the 19.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.